So you guys know that it took me forever to find a platform to host my podcast and basically get it off of rachelmedina.com and get it out to the world on all the major podcast channels. Well, I came across Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast these days. Basically, it's free, which is huge, right? Especially if you're new. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, which is amazing. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard across all the major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast too with no minimum listenerships, which is amazing. It's everything you need to make your podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's amazing. You'll love it. Trust me, I do.
Welcome to another episode of the Rachel Unpacked Podcast. I am your host, Rachel Medina. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Rachel Medina 101. You can also follow the show at Rachel Unpacked. And if you're on Facebook, don't forget to join the Facebook group RM101/SheEO. Yes, SheEO. You'll love how it's spelled. Merch is coming soon. Don't forget to head to rachelmedina.com for resources and to sign up for the newsletter. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk about $1 million. You want to talk about millions of dollars? Let's talk about $1 million. Everybody thinks about becoming a millionaire. I say everybody, but gosh, I have met some people that really don't care about wealth, by the way. You'd be surprised. There are plenty of people that their measurement of success or their idea of happiness does not equate financially to what we think it will be or is or should be. So everybody is born with a different sort of path or journey or motivation. That's first and foremost. But speaking to the people who are striving for more financially, economically, etc. And if that's you, if you're a person who's like, gosh, I want to be a millionaire one day, this episode is for you. I am about to say something that is going to absolutely wake you up. It's going to wake you up. It's going to wake you up. Listen, I'm not good at mathing. Yep, I said mathing. I suck at math, basically. Yet I'm an entrepreneur. It's really kind of ironical. But anyways, I am going to say something that is going to wake you up. You will make $1 million in your lifetime. You, depending on your age and what you do for a living, may have already made $1 million, even if you wash dishes for a living. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. You, depending on your age, may have already made $1 million. So take a moment, look around. Look at your past income taxes. Look at your pay stubs. Look at that money that you've made, okay? If you, and hopefully this does not interrupt the recording because I'm switching screens here, take $1 million, okay? And I'm going to divide it by $50,000. That means if you've been working for 20 years, making $50,000, which is not considered a lot of money, okay, in most places. I don't know. I live in Southern California. You can probably live in an apartment or something like that with 50 grand a year, okay? If you've made that for 20 years, you made $1 million. You hearing me? You might say, well, Rachel, I've made $75,000 a year. Okay, well, guess what? You probably in 15 years, I haven't done the math because I don't do the mathing thing. You have probably already made $1 million if you're 35 or 40 or 45 or whatever. If you've been working for 20 years or more, chances are you've already made your $1 million. Look around. What did you do with it? What do you have to show for it? Are you awake yet? Let me tell you something else that may help you, okay? I just punched you in the gut just to say it's okay. I'm going to make it all better because I have something for you that is even more powerful than that. And that is the fact that everyone can make $1 million. $1 million is just $1 million. It doesn't know time, space, like what you do for a living. It doesn't know. It's just money. Okay? It's just sitting there waiting for the person to come get it. And it's everywhere. All you have to do is decide where you want to grab it from. That's number one. And number two, you need to decide how much within a certain amount of time you want to get. What I mean by that is, do you want to wait 20 years to get your $1 million like you probably already have? Or do you want to wait 12 months, a year to get your $1 million? Do you want to wait 30 days, 1 month to get your $1 million? Okay? That's the part that you have control over. That's the part that you have control over. You get to wake up every day and decide how you want to show up for your $1 million. And if you keep it waiting, it's all dressed up with nowhere to go because you're sitting there, choosing the long route to it. You're late for the date. Your $1 million date has all these plans. It wants to go on a helicopter ride. It wants to go to the Maldives. It wants to drive and to take you in a fancy Ferrari, whatever the case may be. But you're just taking your sweet old time, right? You're taking your sweet old time. You chose the long route. The money doesn't know the difference. Do you hear me? $1 million is $1 million, whether you wait 20 years to make it or whether you make 20 days to make it. I know what you're thinking, Rachel, really 20 days to make it? Yes, 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 and yes. Okay. I am a middle-aged woman, a Mexican woman who's a single mother. I'm a divorcee. I'm all these things, right? Go to rachelmedina.com and you're going to see all the labels, okay, that I've been called. And I even say, choose the label that inspires you. Call me whatever you want as long as you're inspired, basically. Okay. I'm all those things. And let me tell you, I figured out how to make almost $200,000 a month from home. I figured it out. Now, here's the thing about $1 million, okay, is that it's kind of goes with the wind. And what I mean by that is it's like a kite in a sense that you really need to have that momentum and you need to have that sort of pressure going. You need forward motion. You can't be stale or stagnant because it'll drop out of the sky. It'll just fall, plummet. Okay. I've met a few people and I've seen some interviews online from women who made $1 million and they thought, oh my God, I made it. And it went away so fast. That really woke them up. And most of them, though, when they made $1 million that then fell, they then got back up and they figured it out and they made 10 million and they figured out how to just keep it going. Making $1 million, believe it or not, is not hard. Everyone in their life, if they live in the United States, likely has made it or will make $1 million. It is when you make the $1 million and you say, oh my God, I make $1 million a year, I make $2 million a year. The road from 1 million to 10 million is a very different road. It's a very different journey. And I have yet to go on to the $10 million journey. But now that I've had my $1 million go up and down and side to side and around and under and all these different things, I realize, oh, this little sucker, it needs friends. 1 million by itself is just this little mischievous thing that's so hard to control, right? It's when it needs friends. I need to multiply it so that it can have support and all that fun stuff. That's a whole other episode, okay? This particular episode is just to wake you up to say, good morning. How would you like to collect your $1 million today? Did you hear me? Good morning. How would you like to collect your $1 million today? Notice I didn't say earn your million. Okay? At the end of the day, money is truly everywhere. It's all around you. Did you know that you are sitting right now with a wealth of knowledge about some sort of craft, line of work, artistry, business acumen or whatever it's called, experience, you have a degree, you have whatever it may be, there is something within you that is teachable, coachable, shareable. any kind of knowledge that you have that you're able to speak about for hours on end, like you hear me do on this podcast, like you might see me post about public speaking things I've done, whatever it may be. It might be a blog that you can write, you courses that you can sell. All of it is you're able to monetize it. Every single part of you're able to monetize. Now, you might say, Rachel, every part of me? Now, this is not that kind of podcast, okay? I'm not talking about OnlyFans and selling feet pics, okay? Don't get me wrong. That's a thing. That's not this thing, though. However, you can wake up and decide that that's what you want to do. You can say, Rachel, you know what? You're right. I think I want to get to my $1 million quicker. I want to call in my $1 million. I want to collect my $1 million quicker than waiting 20 years of working a $50,000 a year job. And I want to do it selling feet pics for $100,000 a month. Cool. Okay. At the end of the day, though, I really want you to start thinking in terms of money is everywhere. If you are sitting on a piece of furniture, someone sold it to you. Someone somewhere made that furniture, had the idea, had a dream of like what that chair would look and feel like, and then they were able to sell it to a company that can then, mass produce it or sell it on their website or in their stores across the nation. And then it got into your hands. Maybe you picked it up at Ross and that manufacturer sold it to a store that then discounted it after clearance to Ross or Marshall's or whatever discounter, Hobby Lobby, and then you picked it up. Okay. And then when you're done with it, you'll probably put it on some app that, OfferUp or I don't know what, and people will then come buy it, or from your yard sale. It is constantly moving. Ideas and dreams are things that do come to fruition and that do have monetary attachments to them. They are worth something. Everything has its value. Okay? At the end of the day, you have a skill set. You have an idea. You have a vision. You have knowledge. You have an item, you have items that you can then convert into cash money, okay? That's what this episode's about. How do you want to get to your millions? Your millions is sitting there. It's literally sitting there. It's like, imagine that there is a vault, a bank somewhere, a safety deposit box that has $1 million with your name on it, and all you have to do is unlock it. But if you choose to take an Uber, a train, a bicycle, a skateboard, a parachute, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get to that money? Some people might go, God, I just called an Uber. Right? Someone out there is listening going, just call an Uber, get to the bank already, okay? For some people, it's super easy to see the path to their millions. And others, they just don't. Others say, oh, I'm going to follow all these people. I see all these people sitting on the 405 freeway, in LA. And I think I'm going to follow them because, look, they're all doing it. That's how they're getting to their millions. Working in a cubicle, showing up, saying hi, making that same coffee, sitting in that same meeting, sitting in that same cubicle, looking at those same people, complaining about the same things, and then getting in your car and sitting in your car for an hour or an hour and a half in the same traffic to get to the same house or apartment that you're so tired of, and hearing your wife, or not your wife, because most of you are women, but your spouse complaining about the same bills of the same financial situation, and your kids needing the same things: clothes, shoes, food, shelter, rides to the party, an outfit for the recital, books for this, the project for the volcano thing or whatever. The list goes on and on and on. Meanwhile, if you're sitting there in debt, you're sitting there without money, you're living on someone's couch, it's because you haven't figured out how to get to your million. It's not because it's so hard to make $1 million. The million's already there. Don't sit there saying, how can I make $1 million? You don't have to make $1 million. The money is there. The millions are there already. No, I didn't read this anywhere. I genuinely didn't read it, but I do accumulate a lot of information from all different sources. And one thing that I realized in surrounding myself with people that are very wealth-minded or have achieved a lot of wealth or had a lot of money and lost it is that money is everywhere. If there's anything I've been able to prove to myself is that an idea can be worth millions. And it doesn't care if you're in an office or you're working from home, if you're wearing your pajamas or a suit. It doesn't care if you sat in the freeway or didn't sit in the freeway. It doesn't care if you sit in a cubicle or in the corner office. And it doesn't care about your education level. It doesn't care that you were born into a poor family. It doesn't care that you live in the ghetto. It doesn't care if you're Black, white, Asian, Malaysian. It doesn't care. It's literally just sitting there waiting for you to figure out how to get to it. That is it. It is literally that simple. And for everyone listening, you simply have to figure out the path to which you want to reach the money. Do you want to go through a baking business? Do you want to go through crypto investments? Do you want to travel the road of advertising sales? Do you want to become an engineer? Do you want to be an inventor? Do you want to be an artist? Do you want to be a singer, painter, choreographer? Do you want to be a realtor? Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? Every single thing you can think of leads you to $1 million. It's just that some of those paths are faster than others. And so that is how you should be looking at it. At the end of the day, that is how you should be looking at it. You should be waking up every day and saying, how am I going to meet up with my money today? Like you're going to meet a friend for lunch. How am I going to show up for my money today? Right? Grant Cardone has a funny saying. He says, who has my money? Somebody out there has my money. I just need to figure out who has it. That's Grant Cardone's saying. I'm saying money is literally everywhere. It doesn't have to come from a person. It's literally everywhere. It is literally everywhere. Remember that saying that maybe your parents used to say, do you think money grows on trees or something? It is literally everywhere. And you know what? For the parents, if your parents said money doesn't grow on trees, let me tell you, if you live in California and there's a tree as part of your landscaping, some guy out there, maybe doesn't even know English, maybe he does, grew that tree at a tree farm, made a business out of it, sold that tree to the contractor, to the developer, sold that tree so that you can have it in your yard. Because ultimately, you bought it from that third person, that middleman. But there's a guy out there that grew that tree. There's a company that put those seeds together. There's a company that mixed the soil and has just the right type of soil. There's a company that is trucking these things in from other states necessarily, maybe not, I don't know. At the end of the day, there's companies growing these trees, to turn them into paper, or cutting forests down and turn them into paper. I mean, either way, right? You see what I'm trying to say? Every single thing is worth something. Every single thing is worth something to someone. Okay? You can have a stamp with Elvis Presley on it, a mail stamp that your grandmother, great-grandmother bought, in 1950 whatever, and it's just sitting there in her little jewelry box, and you might find someone to buy that stamp for $1 million. At the end of the day, money is literally everywhere. What I recommend that you do is align yourself with the people you want to earn or not earn, but show up for that money with. Who do you want to surround yourself with? What do you guys want to do? How do you want to collaborate together? What's going to be fun, invigorating, educational, motivating? That's all you have to figure out. Does it motivate you to put Mozart music on blast while you're baking a souffle or croissants that you're going to sell to the local, Starbucks? I don't know. At the end of the day, what's your thing? Is it selling cars? I don't know. Is it owning a dealership? Maybe. At the end of the day, the $1 million is just sitting there. It doesn't care actually who comes to get it. We all have $1 million with our name on it. By the way, if you can make $1 million, if you can show up for $1 million, you're going to be able to show up for 10. Chances are. So I wanted to do this episode to just give you that perspective, to just reset you for a second so that you truly understand the way money is. It's not this thing that's elusive. It's not like running away from you. Don't chase it. You don't need to chase it. You just need to figure out how to show up for it. It's there. It's literally circling all around. It's going round and round and round. Every car you see on the road had to go buy gas, had to go buy that car. Like the person driving had to buy that car, had to put gas on it, has to maintain it, probably has tint on it, maybe has to pay car registration if you're in California. There's all these things. Every single component of that car had to be paid for, provided jobs for people. Somebody made a salary to be able to put that together and a commission, right? So at the end of the day, how do you want to show up for your money? If you're sitting in a cubicle and you commute, you say, Rachel, but this is what I got to do because of my health insurance, because of this, because of that. I'm not saying don't have health insurance, but how often do you go to the doctor? How often do you get injured? How often do you need x-rays? How often do you need blood work? And can you do those things a la carte as you need them? You know what I mean? Don't sit there and say, I don't leave my job because I can't give up the benefits. What are the benefits? 401k? You're putting, money in and they're putting money in. Again, that's slow. That is slow. You can literally learn how to trade cryptocurrency. By the way, if you want information about joining the group I'm in with my girlfriends on doing that, my girlfriend just made $7,000 yesterday. She put $300 in, she got $7,000 out. I saw it with my own eyes. And a couple days before that, she did $6,000. Again, only put $300. That's like her little challenge that she does. She uses $300 a day to make at least $2,500 a day. And recently she's had $6,000 days, $7,000 days. The woman is in her 50s, single mother. A year ago when COVID hit, she literally sat with me at a cafe saying, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose everything. I don't know how to reinvent myself. I'm in my 50s. I'm tired. What am I going to do? And her son taught her how to trade. He brought her into his crypto group. She started her own group. Now I'm in it. I put my son in it. I put my friend in it. Literally we are in it and winning. So listen, DM me. If you want information on that, just DM me, email me, do whatever you got to do. But what I'm trying to get at is, and by the way, I'm barely learning, so I'm not winning like she is. She's the GOAT on that. But what I'm trying to say and use her as an example is that money is everywhere. Money is literally everywhere. For her, it's on her phone. She just literally jumps onto an app and makes a few decisions based on her education because she learned. She's been studying these videos and studying these techniques from the kids who are showing her through her son's group. And now she's winning. So now she gets to have, let's just say $10,000 weeks. I mean, more than that, obviously. Again, mathing. I'm not good at mathing. But let's just say she's doing $10,000 a week. Listen, let me tell you something. She's A-okay with that. Would you be A-okay with that? Money is green no matter where it comes from. Now, granted, crypto is not dollars. It's becoming more than dollars in all aspects. And you can't touch it. But you can definitely spend it. Hey, period. Okay, you can convert it into things. That's what dollars do anyways, right? Convert into things. And if you look at it that way, what does she care if it's coming from an app on her phone through this thing called cryptocurrency, or if she's out there driving to work every single day, sitting in a cubicle, waiting a whole 30 days just to be able to say she makes $6,000 a month, even if she makes $10,000 a month. Okay, great, $120,000 a year. When she can do freaking that in a day, in a week. Oh yeah, the woman has now officially become unemployable, let me tell you. So many of us are unemployable once we figure out how to show up for our money. Once you figure out how to show up for your money and show up for your dreams and show up for your goals, let me tell you something, you become unemployable. At that point, if you want to work and collaborate with someone as an independent contractor, absolutely positively do it, because you will learn from the people that you are collaborating with. You will learn from the person paying you for your service. You are going to learn immensely, and then take that knowledge and start your little side hustle, because let me tell you something, money is everywhere. Money is everywhere. You might as well have a great time making it. You might as well be learning while you earn. You might as well be collaborating and aligning with great people. There is no excuse for it. You don't have to sit in traffic and gridlock every single morning and every single evening. You don't have to miss your kids' baseball games and recitals. You don't have to sit there and bury your loved ones and then go to work the next day and figure out how to mourn them because, you couldn't take the time off. You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to look at people on Instagram traveling to Europe and all these different places in their 20s that you don't get to go to. Or you know what? Like, for example, myself, I went to Europe and I'm on this tour bus and everybody was super gray. Everybody was old. People were like in their 80s on these vacations. And all you could hear was, I saved up my whole life to be able to take this trip. I'm so glad I got to do it. In their 80s. Granted, I was 40 when I got to do that. But let me tell you, I should have gotten my head together and done that when I was 20 with my kids. There's no reason why you can't do it. It's just money. Money will work for you. It's standing by. It's literally the most submissive thing on the planet. It's waiting for you to go get to it. It's waiting for you to put it to work. You can go to work every day and then literally take that money and spend it. I did another episode about this. Scroll down on the podcast list and you'll see those episodes. And you got to listen to those because, oh my goodness, you are going to be absolutely shooketh, as they say. But I'm here to tell you there's no reason why you can't show up for your money. Figure out how to do it. I promise you're not going to regret it. I promise you that 90 days of making money on your phone or online or with friends is going to absolutely positively change your life. Not only financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically, all the things. All the things. Listen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Rachel Unpacked podcast. Don't forget to visit the website, rachelmedina.com. Poke around, sign up, put your email in there. I'm going to drop all kinds of gems to you if you want to join my crypto group, if you want to learn some side hustles and how to make some money, if you want an extra $1,000 or you want to make $1 million. Listen, it doesn't matter how you want to show up for your money. I'm going to help you do that. That's why I'm doing this. That's why season 2 is no longer about my personal life. I did that already. I set the standard. I laid the foundation so you guys know my journey and you guys could hear that journey and understand that I've been where you are. I've been with you. But chances are, if you're going through it, I'm not saying I've been through the worst of the worst of the worst. I've been through some really difficult things. Listen to season 1, you'll hear it. And I'm here on the other side on season 2 to tell you, you can do it despite what the story is. Stop telling yourself that crazy story of why you can't make millions. You're already on the path to making it. You're already waking up every day and delivering, Uber Eats or whatever to make your money. There's no reason why you can't show up in ways that invigorate you, in ways that excite you, in ways that inspire you, in ways that really help you collaborate with wonderful people. There's no excuse for it. Show up for your money. Go get it. Follow us on social media. Rachel Unpacked. Talk to you soon.